Hi everyone, my name is Kate, welcome back to my channel, and today I will tell you and show you how to crochet this winter cardigan. I wish you all Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. May the New Year bring you only the best of good things. This cardigan consists of snowflakes, granny squares, and this pattern it's not mine, and the link to the original pattern I leave in the description under the video. I wanted to create a winter cardigan that would be suitable for Christmas and New Year's Eve and just all winter long. So I chose granny squares because it's simple, and I chose the snowflake pattern. This cardigan I crocheted from hobby yarn Winter Glow Solid, and its composition wool with acrylic. It's light and at the same time warm. I think in other colors cardigan will look even better. For example, make the snowflakes blue and replace the red with white, or make the snowflakes white and replace the red with light green. It's good that the palette of yarn from hobby is very diverse, so you can pick up on any taste. Link to this yarn I leave in the description under the video. This cardigan is oversized, so it will fit any size. You can make it longer by adding more squares at the bottom. Cardigan crocheted quite simply, so I think even a beginner can cope with it. Don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram, there I show my future tutorials first of all. Also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video and share this video with your friends. And let's get started. We will need 3 red skeins of Winter Glow Solid by Hobby. The number of my color is 35, and a little more than 2 skeins of milk color. The number of my color is 2. Hook 5 mm, scissors, markers, needle, and buttons. I have 23 mm. At first we need to make magic ring like this. Hold with your thumb the connection, insert the hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull it out, and take the ring more comfortably in your left hand like this. Chain 2, 1 and 2, yarn over, insert the hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull it out, crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. Chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, insert the hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull it out, and crochet only first 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over again, insert the hook into the ring, grab the yarn, pull it out, crochet first 2 loops, and then 3 loops together like this. We will call it double crochet cluster. Next, chain 2, yarn over, insert the hook into the ring, grab the yarn, crochet first 2 loops, yarn over again, insert the hook into the ring, crochet only first 2 loops, and then 3 together. It's the third double crochet cluster that we made. Chain 2 and repeat the same way. We made 4 double crochet clusters, and in total we need to make 8 double crochet clusters. Here are my 8 double crochet clusters, and right now make chain 2 and we're gonna join the row. Now tighten the ring. And join the row with a slip stitch into the vertex of the double crochet cluster right here. Grab the yarn, pull it out, and crochet the first loop into the second one. Then make slip stitch into the next free space. Chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, and make a double crochet into the free space. Crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. Chain 2 again, and make double crochet cluster into the same free space. So we have 2 double crochet clusters in one free space. Chain 2 again, yarn over, and make double crochet cluster into the next free space. Chain 2, and into the same place make double crochet cluster again. Chain 2, yarn over and make double crochet cluster into the next free space. So repeat the same pattern until the end of the row. So in one free space we make 2 double crochet clusters and between them chain 2. At the end chain 2, and it's all you need to have 16 double crochet clusters. And join the row with a slip stitch into the vertex of the first double crochet cluster. Then make slip stitch into the next free space. Chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, make double crochet into the same free space. Then chain 1 and make double crochet cluster into the same free space. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and make slip stitch into the vertex of this double crochet cluster. So insert the hook right into these 3 loops and make slip stitch. Then chain 1 and make double crochet cluster into the same free space. Then chain 2, 1, 2, and make a single crochet into the next free space. Grab the yarn and crochet 2 loops on the hook. Then chain 2 again and make double crochet cluster into the next free space. Chain 1, make double crochet cluster again into the same place. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and make slip stitch into the vertex of this double crochet cluster. Chain 1 and make double crochet cluster into the same place again. Chain 2, make single crochet into the next free space. Chain 2 again, and repeat the same way until the end of the row. This row I end with chain 2, single crochet into the free space, chain 2, and make slip stitch into the vertex of first double crochet cluster, but with red yarn. I grab red yarn and pull it through all loops on the hook. Chain 1 and make 2 single crochets into free space. I crochet with these tips. 1 and in the same place 2. Then tilt this picot like this and make 2 single crochets into the next free space. 1 and in the same place 2. Yarn over and make double crochet into the next free space. Crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. And right now you can cut white yarn. And right now we need to make 2 long double crochets into the first row right in the middle of double crochet cluster. So yarn over, insert the hook into the middle of double crochet cluster, grab the yarn and pull it well like this. Grab the yarn, crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. Yarn over again and in the same place repeat the same double crochet. Pull it well and crochet first 2 loops, then 2 more. Then make 1 double crochet into the next free space, like we did before. Then 2 double crochets into the next free space, 1, and in the same place 2. Then chain 1 and make 2 double crochets into the next free space after the picot, 1, and in the same place 2. Then make 1 double crochet into the next free space, right here. Then again make 2 long double crochets into the first row in the middle of the double crochet cluster. First and second. Then 1 double crochet into the next free space, and right now 2 single crochets into the next free space, 1 and 2. Then tilt the picot and into the next free space make 2 single crochets again, 1 and 2. Then again double crochet into the next free space, and 2 long double crochets into the first row, 1 and 2. Double crochet into the next free space, then again 2 double crochets into the next free space, 1 and 2. Chain 1 and 2 double crochets into the next free space. So where we have double crochets around the picot, it's our future corner of granny square. And where we have single crochets around the picot, it's the side of granny square. And we need to repeat the same pattern, alternating picot with single crochets and picot with double crochets around it. Right now the picot with single crochets, 1, 2, and into the next free space, 2 more. And there is no chain 1 between them, but in the corners between double crochets there is chain 1. So I end this row with double crochet before single crochets. And it should look like this. Don't be afraid that it isn't flat, we will iron it and it will look like this. Join the row with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Chain 1 and insert the hook right under this chain 1 and make a single crochet. Then make 3 more single crochets, 1, 2 and 3, at all 4 single crochets. Then make 6 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here is our corner, so make 2 double crochets into it, 1, 2, then chain 2, 1, 2, and 2 double crochets again into the same corner, 1 and 2. Then again make 6 double crochet, but don't lose this loop right after the corner, it can hide in your double crochets. Then make 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So right now you can see our first corner, and where we have single crochets, it's the side of the square. Right now make 6 double crochets again. Into the free space make 2 double crochets, then chain 2 and 2 double crochets again into the same place. Then make 6 double crochets, but don't lose this first loop. And again 4 single crochets, and repeat the same pattern until the end of the row. At the end, make slip stitch into the first single crochet. Chain 1 and you can cut the yarn. Pull out the loop, and this is what we should have. Right now take a needle and hide all the ends. The size of the square in ironed form 15 centimeters. At all you need to make 22 snowflake granny squares the same way. Right now we need to make right and left granny square for neckline. Start as usual with chain 1 and 2 single crochets into the free space. Then 2 more single crochets into the next free space. Then again 1 single crochet into the next free space and 2 single crochet into the first row in the middle of the double crochet cluster. Then again single crochet into the next free space, 2 single crochet into the next free space, and again 2 single crochets into the next free space. It should look like this. Then again only single crochet and 2 single crochet into the first row. 1 and 2. Again single crochet into the next free space, 2 single crochets into the next free space, and the last 2 single crochets into the next free space. So we didn't make one corner and it should look like this. And then crochet as usual, double crochet into the next free space, then 2 double crochets into the first row, 1 and 2. Then double crochet into the next free space, 2 double crochets into the next free space, chain 1, 2 double crochets into the next free space, and so on like we did before on a regular snowflake granny squares. At the end it should look like this, and join the row with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Chain 1, insert the hook under the first chain 1 and make single crochet and crochet single crochets until you reach your double crochet. And after single crochets, crochet as usual, as we did before on a regular granny square, 6 double crochets, in the corner 2 double crochets, then chain 2, 2 double crochets into the same corner, then again 6 double crochets, then 4 single crochets, and so on until the end of the row. At the end, join the row with a slip stitch into the first single crochet, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Pull out the loop. So we made granny square without a corner from the left side, and the other should be the same but without a corner from the right side. So right now crochet as usual as we did before on a regular granny square until you have left 2 wings of the snowflake. I've left 2 wings of the snowflake, and right now we need to continue the pattern but only with single crochets. Join the row with a slip stitch into the first single crochet, chain 1, insert the hook under the first chain, and crochet as we did on a regular granny square until you reach the last 2 wings. I made 3 corners and I reached my single crochets, and right now I crochet just with single crochets until the end of the row. Join the row with a slip stitch into the first single crochet, chain 1, cut the yarn and pull out the loop. So here is our granny squares for the neckline, and with them we have it all 24 granny squares. When you will iron your squares, use a wet towel or just steam them. And right now let's join all squares together. This is the wrong side of my granny squares and it's the right front part of my cardigan. When you will make the left side, place your square without a corner on the other side like this. We're gonna join all granny squares with slip stitches. So insert the hook right into the corners of your granny squares, grab the yarn, pull it out and crochet 1 loop on the hook. Then insert the hook into the next stitches of granny squares, of 2 granny squares, and make slip stitch. Then insert the hook into the next stitches and make slip stitch again, and so on until the end of all granny squares. The last slip stitch in the corners of these granny squares, and this is how the seam looks like. Insert the hook into the next corners of the next granny squares and crochet with slip stitches like we did before. And at the very end, chain 1, cut the yarn and pull out the loop. And crochet crochet horizontal lines the same way with slip stitches. The seam looks like this. You need to steam it or iron it like we did with granny squares, and it will be flat. I join all my granny squares, left and right front part and back part. We need to join them on the shoulders, make sleeves, make the band, and it will be done. Right now, place all parts face to face and wrong side out. Join on the shoulders with slip stitches like we did with granny squares. The last slip stitch I make right above the last double crochet before the single crochet. So here my picot, and I have 2 single crochet right before it. Chain 1, cut the yarn, pull out the loop, and from the other side make the same way. Let's make the sleeves. We will start with a band, so chain 10 and leave a longer tip. From the number of these air loops will depend the width of the band, so if you want wider, then make more air loops. Insert the hook into the second loop from the hook. The one on the hook doesn't count, and make a single crochet. Then crochet with single crochets until the end of the chain. Chain 1 and turn your work. Insert the hook into the second loop but through the back loop, like this, and make a single crochet. And crochet with single crochet through the back loop until the end of the row. The last loop crochet by 2 strands like this. Chain 1, turn your work, insert the hook into the second loop through the back loop and crochet with single crochet through the back loop until the end of the row, and the last loop crochet by 2 strands. Chain 1, turn your work, and like this crochet 30 rows at all. The width of my band is 5 cm and the length is 18.5 cm. If you know how you can join the band into a circle but I didn't make it, I will do it later. Right now chain 2, yarn over and make double crochet into each row on the side of the band. So at all, you need to have 30 double crochets. The last one, and right now I will join the sleeve into a circle. So I will join with a slip stitch into the second loop of the first chain. And with my longer tip, I will sew the band at the very end. Right now chain 2, but loose the second loop like I did. Turn your work, yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch and make double crochet. crochet all row with double crochets. At all you need to have 31 double crochets. At the very end, join the row with a slip stitch into the second loop of the first chain. Then chain 2 and loose the second loop. Turn your work, yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, and crochet this row with only double crochets. The same way, we need to crochet 4 rows with double crochets. We made 2 and start the third. Here are my 4 rows, and from the 5th we're gonna start to make increases. The first chain of air loops is also counts at the first stitch, so crochet 9 double crochets, and into the 10th we will make increase. I made 9 double crochets counts with the first chain of air loops, and into the 10th make 2 double crochets in the same place. So it's our increase, 2 double crochets in one stitch. Crochet next 9 double crochets. So let's count together. Here is our increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and into the 10th make increase, 2 double crochets in one stitch. Then crochet again 9 double crochets and make increase again. So at all you need to have 3 increases in this row. Join the row with a slip stitch into the second loop, chain 2 and loose the second loop, turn your work and crochet the next row without increases, just double crochets. So the sleeves are simple, we just need to make increases in certain rows, and I will write you in which row we need to make them. So these are the rows in which you need to make increases. In other rows, crochet just as usual with double crochet without increases. At all you need to crochet 30 rows, and at the end you should get the sleeve like this. Chain 1, cut the yarn and pull out the loop. The length of the sleeve 51.5 centimeters and the width of the wider part is 23 centimeters. On the wrong side of the sleeve, join the band with the slip stitches. And make the same second sleeve. On the sleeve, find 2 central loops and with markers place them on the shoulders. Then count the number of stitches on the sleeve and on the body and put 2 markers on the bottom. Join the sleeve to the body with slip stitches. At the end, chain 1, cut the yarn and pull out the loop. Sides join with slip stitches too. From the other side, make the same way. And we'll have to make the band on the bottom of the cardigan and in the middle. Now you need to determine where you want your buttons and the holes for these buttons. I'm gonna make 4 holes for 4 buttons. Insert the hook into the bottom corner of the right part of the cardigan and crochet with single crochets. Into the corner, make 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet into the seam between squares. Crochet like this until the bottom corner of the right side of the cardigan. On the shoulders, make single crochet into the seam. At the end, chain 1 and turn your work. Insert the hook into the second loop from the hook. The one on the hook doesn't count, but through the front loop like this. And crochet like this until the end of the band. At the end, the last stitch, crochet by 2 strands. Chain 1 and turn your work. Insert the hook into the second loop but through the back loop, and in this row we're gonna make holes for the buttons. So here is my place for the buttonhole. I make chain of 3, skip 3 stitches at the bottom and insert the hook into the 4th through the back loop and continue crocheting with single crochet through the back loop until the next buttonhole. Again, I make chain of 3, skip 3 stitches and insert the hook into the 4th and continue crocheting until the next buttonhole. It should look like this, and then after the buttonholes, crochet as usual until the end of the band. The last stitch crochet by 2 strands, chain 1, turn your work. Insert the hook into the second loop through the front loop and crochet with single crochet through the front loop until the end of the row. Into the holes, crochet just 3 single crochets. The last stitch crochet by 2 strands, chain 1, turn your work and crochet with single crochets through the back loop. And at the end, chain 1 and cut the yarn. At the bottom of the cardigan, crochet the same way, alternating single crochets through the back loop and single crochets through the front loop. Crochet as many rows as you want. I'm gonna crochet 5 rows. At the end of each row, chain 1 and turn your work. And all you have left is to hide all the ends and sew the buttons. And this is our final result. I think it looks super cute, super cozy, and with a winter spirit, of course. Enjoy your winter holidays in cozy crochet clothes. I thank you for watching this video, I'm sure you did as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to add them in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to my Instagram, and see you in the next video. Bye, kitties!